value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back once again with a big time rant. I'm the big time, one of the co-founding fathers of Value Wrestling, and I'm right here with my big time rant on the Value Wrestling YouTube page. We'll do some house cleaning after this, but let's get this show on the road. Yes, thank you. Big time here. We're live. Well, not really live. I'm live, but not live on YouTube. I'm recording this episode for you it's after midnight on the 12th of September. Isn't that crazy? Anywho, we're here to discuss some things that are coming down the pipeline. Nothing big, nothing too major, just some little things that we want to get out there and get to you. This is a big time rants where I break down news, rumors, reports, or just rant about something. But tonight, I got a lot of things to discuss. We're going to break them down fast, quick, in a hurry. First, let's stop with yeah, I can talk. Hold on. Thank you. First, biggest news probably coming out of the WWE and maybe all of wrestling at the moment, Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was coming home from India when he was at the show in India and arrived into New York's JFK airport. It was reported that he was disorderly. He was intoxicated. Port Authority was called to assist him or confront him or talk to him. I shouldn't say confront, but they were called to meet him at the gate as he deplaned. And at that time, there was a issue there. Riddle posted on Insta, X, whatever they call it nowadays, a picture of an officer of the Port Authority that he said sexually assaulted him, saying no means no, that he's a nice guy, but he's not down for that. And later, he removed the post and maybe retracted his statements, but it seems like Matt Riddle may have been intoxicated or a little too intoxicated and disorderly coming back from India. So there's a lot of issues there that seem to be going on. We'll be on top of that to see if any more reports or information do come out about it. No comments or statements out of the WWE at this time. Riddle was not on Raw tonight, not expected to be on the 17th show. A live show, not a recorded television show. So we will see what happens with Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was definitely getting a big push with Drew McIntyre. But tonight, McIntyre went one-on-one with Kofi Kingston, so we're seeing some change there. Maybe Matt Riddle will not be playing a role in the rest of the storyline going forward. We just have to wait and see at this point. Moving on, big news coming out of the camp for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Hacksaw Jim Duggan went in for emergency surgery and is now, as of today, on his way home. He put up on Twitter or X or whatever they call it that he is good. He thanks the doctors and nurses and the staff at Glen Falls Hospital for everything they did and all the fans for the thoughts and prayers. He is doing good and headed back home. Thank goodness that Hacksaw is okay. Long live Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Let's give him a big thumbs up and go, ho! USA! Yes, brothers and ladies and gentlemen, we here at the Value Wrestling send our thoughts, prayers, and our well wishes to Hacksaw, his family, and hope that everything continues to be the same. LA Knight, it looks like LA Knight's contract is up for question more than we thought coming out of Fightful Select. It looks like the original talks that LA Knight and WWE had signed a contract. It's not true, and that they're actually further apart on compensation than originally expected. So there's a lot of news and rumors there. We're still waiting to see what's going to happen with LA Knight. LA Knight getting pushed up the card, looking like he's going to be a big star in WWE. So we'll see if they can reach an agreement and see what's going to happen with LA Knight. Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
Exactly. Big return tonight on Monday Night Raw. Big return. Nia Jax is back in the WWE. She appeared in the main event attacking Raquel Rodriguez, and it's unintentionally, I guess you could say, helping Rhea Ripley win and retain her WWE Women's World Championship. That is a lot to say in that sentence, so bear with me. But it looks like Nia Jax is now back in WWE. I think we saw her around the Royal Rumble. We hadn't seen her since, and now she's back. So we'll see what happens with Nia Jax moving forward. Speaking of contracts running up, it looks like Deonna Purrazzo's contract is up in the next few months. Her time with Impact is looking like it may draw to a close. Doesn't mean she won't re-sign, but could we be seeing Deonna Purrazzo heading to AEW? Could we see her heading to WWE for a return? We don't know. We're going to wait and see, but it looks like her contract is coming up in a few months with Impact. Will she be moving on? Will she be staying? We will have to wait and see. Definitely a big name in the world of women's wrestling. Can really be a big mover, a great get for either AEW or WWE, or even if Impact is able to get her and retain her to their program. So we'll have to wait and see what is going on there. Also, speaking of Impact, it looks like Saraya of AEW, yes, Saraya, or Saraya, yes, Saraya, thank you, is calling out Trinity, saying you need to come over to AEW, you need to stop by and pay a visit. Maybe we need to get going and go one-on-one in the ring. Now, don't get that twisted. That isn't a wrestling ring. Saraya calling for a match with Trinity. We shall see. Will Trinity get a shot at the AEW Women's Championship? Impact and AEW have always had a good working relationship, so you can never say never. Wrestle Dream coming up on October 1st. No matches except the one big one. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. is the only thing that's booked so far. Could we have a Saraya versus Trinity match on Wrestle Dream? Dream matches, Wrestle Dream. Great opportunity to book something like that. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, Daniel Bryan also made the big announcement this past week on Collision that this may be his last year. Will he completely retire? Will he go part-time? Will he go on a very limited schedule? We have to wait and see, but he told his daughter when she was 7 he was going to start stepping away from the ring. So we're definitely going to get Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Dream October 1st, if I remember correctly. And then Fastlane for WWE. No matches booked for that yet. We're going to wait for the build. Things are cooking up. We shall see. All right. Matt Cardona. The hottest commodity in independent wrestling right now, the king of the deathmatch, all the millions of titles that Matt Cardona is carrying around right now, is making the news by saying he wants back into WWE. Going, hey, Vince, give me a call. Matt Cardona wants his return to WWE. Truth or fiction? That's the question you got to ask. Matt Cardona doing so great on the independent scenes, remaking his name, remaking his brand, and knows how to stir a controversy. Does he really want to go back to WWE? I believe he does. I believe there's talks about it. Has anything worked out? Not at this time. But right now, is he really using it for a play for WWE, or is he just using it for a play to get people to pay attention to what Matt Cardona is doing? We will have to wait and see. Now, Chelsea Green is in WWE. That is his wife, so who knows what could happen there. Could Matt Cardona be returning to WWE? Will we see the return to Zack Ryder? I highly doubt that, because Matt Cardona does not really want to have anything to do with Zack Ryder. But we will wait and see what the future holds. Matt Cardona and Chelsea in the WWE. Could that be the next power couple? Who knows? It's only time will tell. So, CM Punk. Not a whole lot of news out of the CM Punk area. Nothing to really state there. Not a whole lot to dive into. CM Punk has been pretty much radio silence as far as I've seen. Not a lot of coming out from his camp about what's going to happen. Still a lot of rumor speculation. Got to take it all with a grain of salt. Is CM Punk WWE bound? Will we see him in Chicago at the United Center make a surprise entrance at the Survivor Series? Will he be a mystery opponent for somebody? Will he be a mystery partner for somebody in a War Games match? We don't know. WWE hasn't officially announced War Games. A lot of speculation, a lot of moves looking like they're heading to War Games. Looks like they've got maybe a men and women's War Games planned out. but we will have to wait and see. We got to get through Fastlane, and we'll see what happens with Survivor Series. Could CM Punk return at the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrance? Very well could happen. Could Matt Cardona return as a surprise entrance at the Royal Rumble? Could we see Deonna Perez? If I screwed up the name, my bad. Could we see her come into the Women's Royal Rumble as a surprise entrance? Who knows? We're getting in that season. Wrestling's going to get real hot, at least on the WWE side, or at least we hope it will, because that time's starting to narrow down. We're headed into the season right after Survivor Series. It'll be time to count down to the Royal Rumble, and then from there, we're in WrestleMania season. What's going to happen? Seems like the road's kind of paved. A lot of things are out there, but we don't know for sure. Anything can happen, and anything can change. Of course, Gunther just celebrated his history reign as Intercontinental Champion. How much longer will he be Intercontinental Champion? Well, we will find out soon, won't we? It looks like Chad Gable's making his last push to get one more shot at that Intercontinental title. Will that be a Fastlane match? Who knows? Maybe they'll hold that off until Survivor Series. That might be a great time. Do something special at Survivor Series with that match. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about in closing. Today is September 11th, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and take a moment of silence and remember those who lost their lives, who gave their lives on this day 22 years ago. No matter if it's 1 year, 22 years, or 50 years, 9/11 will always be something to reflect on and remember in the United States. It was a tragic event, and if you were alive, you know, and if you were born after it, know your history. It is a tragic event, and as a former service member, a veteran of the United States Army, I know what it means to serve this country in a time of crisis, in a time of war. And if you see a serviceman or member, man or woman, thank them for their duty. Thank you for what they've done. Because that blank check, it is a blank check. But moving on. Take your moment of silence. But moving on. In closing, let me just bring up the last thing. So it is official at some point today, September 12th. The end of an era will begin. Is it right now? I don't know. I think it's going to be later today, some point. But the end of an era has happened. Monday Night Raw was the ending of an era. The last show of the McMahon era. Yes. Finally, the UFC, WWE, the Endeavor WWE merger will take place today. It will be finalized. It will be finished. It will be official and in the book today. As far as all the reports are coming out, it is today. At some point, this will be done. And WWE will be owned majority by Endeavor, meaning Vince McMahon will not be a majority owner of WWE, and he will not have full reigning control. Will he still be in a position of power? Yes, he's still signed on as some type of president or authority, and will be. And that's what happens when you record. Sometimes you got to sneeze. Sometimes when you're live, you do it. But hey, we're here. We're there. Don't worry about it. But it's the end of an era. And Vince McMahon is now going to be not in full power. What will that mean for Vince McMahon? Maybe nothing. Maybe something. Maybe nothing. But we will find out. He's still kind of the president. And it seems like he had a 2-year deal from all of this. We'll see how it plays out and works out. Definitely looks like they've been pushing to pull him out of the creative seat. Trying to push him back so he's not full-time or in creative control. So we'll see how that plays out. And it looks like things are slightly moving better. There's been a lot of rinse and repeat recently, kind of like we're in a stagnant holding period. I think we'll see things pick up hopefully into Survivor Series. Survivor Series should push us into Royal Rumble where we really see things pick up and hopefully get to WrestleMania. When we get to WrestleMania, hopefully we'll get a big hard reset and we'll begin a new story, a new adventure, and we'll see what the future really holds for WWE. But time will only tell when it's going to happen. But sometime today, the merger between the UFC, Endeavor, WWE, it's all going to come down. TKO. It's official. It's finally happened. We've waited a long time for this. We never thought it would happen. But last night, Raw was the ending of the Vince McMahon era. The Vince McMahon majority control of WWE. Doesn't mean Vince McMahon's gone. Doesn't mean he's still not going to be a pain in the butt. But we shall see how it all plays out, how it all goes down. Anyways, on the big time. Here in my beautiful new studio, this time recording, everything didn't fall and collapse on me, so that's good, looking good. Of course, here at the Value Wrestling, we're trying to upgrade, make our production better, adding new tricks, new mics, new equipment, whatever it takes to get into the game of podcasting. So we thank you for joining us. So the housekeeping. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you look in the notations below, you will see a link to the Facebook page. Go join us on our Facebook page over there. We talk everything wrestling, everything, anything that does with wrestling, from the daily stuff, the stuff that's very interesting and totally off the chain. So if you want a good laugh, you want to hear a good story, come over and join us on the Value Wrestling on Facebook. That's where we're at. If you're coming over from the Facebook page to the Value Wrestling YouTube channel, you're not subscribed, hey, what are you doing? You're subscribed over there, so get subscribed over here. Join us on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel. I know that the majority of our viewers are not subscribed, and we need you to subscribe so we can grow, we can get bigger. Also, hit that, ring that bell for notifications, so when you get new programs like this up on the air, you'll be alerted. Also, when we go live on Saturday nights, yes, ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday nights, the Value Wrestling goes live with the weekly roundup. It'll be me and the other founder of the Value Wrestling, Paulus Clark, and our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, Miguel Z. Yes, we all do the weekly roundup now, so join us live right here on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel for the weekly roundup. Anyways, this is the Big Time Rant. I'm the Big Time. I'm about to get out of here, call it a night, wrap it up, shut the door, and I thank you for joining me. If you've watched this far into the video, make sure you give a thumbs up, leave your comments below. We thank you for being here, and this has been the Value of Wrestling. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful experience.